Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rifter number 4. Today, we are going to talk about life and death and undeath. Death is not the end. Vigo told us in Ghostbusters 2. We're going to find out exactly how it works right now, right after this. And we're back. See how quick that was?
Yeah, there's no this.
Quick. Yeah.
Did you love those habits you get
into?
I
love that. I love that. So look in the description below. You'll see the Wounded Warrior Project, the charity we support. You can also see our Redbubble store and all the other cool things you might want to know about the channel. Check it out.
Come and bug Heathen Dog on Discord. He loves it when you direct message him constantly.
I love it.
Can't to the point where he'll block you.
I will not do that. Okay, page. Death is not final.
Prove it.
Not always final. An optional official.
Ooh.
Optional official. Just say optional, dude. Don't do this. Rules for Palladium Fantasy RPG 2nd edition. Now, this will work in Nightbane. This will work in Beyond the Supernatural. The theme of it will work in these games. Let's see what it means, though. In keeping with the Halloween spirit, this came out in October 98. We have worked up a few little horrors for the Palladium Fantasy RPG to enjoy. There are many creatures and monsters in the Palladium world that the adventurous must face on a day-to-day basis. Many such stout fellows steel themselves to face these creatures as a necessary evil, an occupational hazard, so to speak. But there exist such horrific things in the world that even the most hardened of adventurers may falter when confronted by them. Unexpected, frightening, and nightmarish spirits, ghosts, and shadowy creatures that haunt, stalk, and torment mortals. Things that are often the inadvertent creations of men, creations that threaten to destroy their creators. Now, here's the overarching theme for this segment. If you kill someone horribly, doesn't matter if you have beef or not, there is a chance this dude will come back with a mean on.
So how do you kill somebody nicely?
Well, I'll show you.
Oh, okay. So that's a thing. Okay.
That's a thing. Killing nicely is a thing. There are times in the Palladium world when a humanoid dies and a rare manifestation occurs in which a tiny fragment, a shadow, if you will, remains on this mortal coil. This ghostly essence is called a soul fragment. This is not a specter. This is not a ghost. This is not a white. No, it is a fragment of a soul. This person died in such horrible, long-lasting agony that his soul was actually shattered to pieces. One of those pieces decided, I'm not done. Violent deaths, particularly ones that are especially torturous and which the victim futilely clings to life to protect or help a loved one to fulfill an oath promise, or within whom burns a hot desire for vengeance, may, on rare occasions, unwittingly leave a tiny part of his departing essence to remain on this plane of existence. This soul fragment, as it is called, never results from a sudden or unexpected or welcome death. No, does not. And I'm going down. Okay. Although one might consider such a fragment to be a ghost, it is not considered poltergeist, haunting entity, spirit, or any of that, but something unique unto itself. See, here's the thing. Someone who dies of old age, you see that coming from a mile away. You understand? Someone who dies of a sickness, not unexpected. That was a possibility. Your soul is fine. All right?
Even
Nothing
if the relatives wouldn't pull the plug, so I had to put a pillow over her face?
That's still fine. Still
okay.
Regular murder. Regular murder's not going to do this. Regular old run-of-the-mill kill is not going to do this. You stab someone in the chest, like, oh my God, you stabbed me in the chest, they die. They don't turn into a soul fragment. It's when they're tortured or an evil wizard guts them for the extra PPE upon death. Stuff like that. Or if someone is hanging on just long enough to see their kid for days, weeks, or months, waiting to be saved, waiting to say goodbye to a loved one, and then expires right before it could happen. Torturous, either physical or emotional or mental torturous death. That's what causes a soul fragment. Now, what kinds of soul fragments are we talking about? Well, I'm going to talk about the rag horror, because this one's crazy.
What a weird name.
During medieval times on Earth, people once erroneously believed that certain insects and larvae were spontaneously generated from piles of old, dirty rags or filthy clothes, because they didn't understand that flies, lay their little eggs and they turn into larvae and eat. So they think, oh no, the larva just appeared. Oh my God. So they didn't understand, but that's what happens. On the Palladium world, piles of old, dirty, or blood-stained rags and filthy clothes attract the occasional soul fragment. The strange energy essence uses the foul rags to make itself a physical body to inhabit. The general public doesn't understand how or why this happens. It is the learned practitioners of the arcane arts who know it to be the handiwork of a tortured soul fragment. The rag horror takes form at night, usually from one or more pieces of clothes from the body that spawned it. However, the bloodied, soiled, or stained rags from a battlefield, hospital, alley, dungeon, or just about anywhere will suffice. Rag horrors have been formed from sources as different as the robes of a priest, the garb of an assassin, the shirt of a fighter, the cape of a lord, and the work clothes of a peasant. The clothes are bloody or filthy and foul-smelling and will not wash clean of the blood, dirt, or smell once they have been possessed by the rag horror soul fragment.
I have another option for the rag horror, but we won't go there.
Yeah, let's not do that. I can feel where you're saying, and we're not doing that. All right. This is a spirit of vengeance. Rag horrors are motivated entirely by revenge. Revenge against those responsible for the death and or desecration of its original body. The thing's only goal is the death of these people. And once they are slain, the fragment vanishes as if it never existed. Until then, it will hunt at night and hide during the day as an abandoned pile of soiled rags. At night, the rag horror resumes its hunt, slithering or crawling along, and in some instances, gliding through the air on strong wind.
But it leaves normal folks alone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do your thing.
Yeah. See? Yeah. Less problem now. Yeah. Or flatten itself to gain entrance through a narrow opening. It hunts its killers relentlessly, stalking them till found and magically sensing their general location. While the spirit of vengeance will try its best to kill its hated enemies, if the rag creature takes severe damage, it has enough sense to retreat and heal to pursue again later. While it hunts the guilty, it will kill the innocent if they get in the way or try and stop it from reaching its murderous goals. It kills using cords, sleeves, or length of its fabric to strangle, or the bulk of its cloth body to smother. It has combined strength of 24 to pry it loose once it attaches to you. And it has supernatural strength of 2d6 plus 5. Not a lot, but it's supernatural, which means it can squeeze a lot harder, move a lot more things. It's strong. Now, what do we know so far? Well, it's got beef, man. I mean, this person died horribly, and its soul shattered. Part of it came back as a soul fragment. And on top of it being justified and being so pissed off, it only wants to kill those responsible for its torturous death. That's it. If you're not in that very select crowd, all you have to do to survive a rag horror is get out of the way. That's all you got to do. Get out of the way. Take 2 steps to the left. Let it move on.
That's supernatural strength, though, man.
What's that?
Is that supernatural strength, though? Once it's got you,
it's not going to let go. Yeah. It's not letting go. And it has a natural armor, approximately 12. The reason being is because it is supernatural possessed fabric, but also it's just kind of fabric, right? So not going to be a whole lot. But it has low animal intelligence. It's an instinctual hunter. And it has the magical ability to know the direction of its killers. They're that way. And it will continue to go that way until it finds it It finds the killers and kills them, or is banished or killed beforehand. That's it. That's the only way it will stop. Now, this fragment here, I mean, I don't know. I think Max is on my side. If a rag horror comes for you, you had it coming.
Yeah, I don't really like what you do.
Exactly.
What did you do?
I know exactly what you did. That's the thing. You can't make a soul fragment unless you killed someone in a torturous, horrible fashion. And if it's locked onto you, you got it coming. Whatever this thing's going to do to you, you asked for. Am I going to help you? Hell no.
That's the Spaceballs thing, though. He did it.
Yeah. You can't fool it. You cannot fool the rag horror. It knows who killed it. It knows who's responsible, and will go after the responsible party or parties. Am I going to help you? No. I'm getting out of the way. Then we have the Bloodwing or Cauldron Terror. The use of cauldrons of blood can be tricky things for wizards. Insanity is one danger, ghosts for another. They're bad enough, but there is worse. There's little known manifestation by a soul fragment known as a Bloodwing. It is a bane of the wizard who has prepared and used an enchanted cauldron in a blood ritual. Okay, see, anytime someone says, "Oh, blood ritual is a good idea," take a moment, take a step back, and then say no. Whenever someone says a blood ritual is the way to go, find another way to go.
I don't even need the word ritual in there. Anytime somebody says blood is the way to go, I'm out.
I'm out. Exactly. But every time you do a blood ritual, especially in this instance with a blood cauldron, bad things can happen. This is one of those bad things. It is a bane to the wizard. Okay, the Bloodwing is formed when the wizard or accomplices kills a victim for his or her blood to use in the preparation of the blood cauldron. If the blood is not disposed of properly, the soul fragment of the murder victim can turn into a Bloodwing. What is also not commonly known is there's a 5% chance of the Bloodwing forming even if the blood ritual is performed flawlessly and the contents of the cauldron are emptied as the ritual requires. This is due to the sacrifice of a humanoid victim and the foul reason for his or her murder. The fragment, regardless of the murder victim's original alignment, desires vengeance upon the wizard and any accomplices who may have participated or stood watching as heartless spectators. Okay.
But I wasn't strong enough to beat him.
Doesn't matter. You should have died trying. Now you're going to take your medicine.
Why couldn't you be a rag horror like every other haunt?
Yeah, see, this one's a little quasi, little gray area here. Yeah. So yeah, the Bloodwing is a little bit more indiscriminate about who needs to die.
I think he's a little more judgmental. I mean, he still discriminates against just the people who are there, but instead of blaming the person who's the problem, he just blames everybody associated with it.
Yeah, everyone who was there and did nothing gets no sympathy from the Bloodwing. None. And it's a stronger and a little bit craftier. It's a supernatural strength still, 2d6 plus 10. In combat, the Bloodwing flies fast and attacks without warning as an aerial predator. That Bloodwing is going to look like a bat.
I just want to interrupt for a second here to remind people, this is not a Rifts creature. This is a Palladium Fantasy creature. This supernatural strength isn't something to be like, okay, whatevs.
Yeah, it doesn't happen every day. It's able to dodge punches and sword strikes with ease. It has climbing ability of most insects and can climb up walls and hang from a tree, branches, or ceiling. It has natural armor rating of 14, 2d4 times 10 hit points, another 4d6 if the deceased individual was a practitioner of magic or 8th level or higher than 8th level. Sorry, 9th level or higher. So, what do evil wizards love about other practitioners of magic? They are PPE batteries. You get so much power from them. So efficient. Whoops. I made a stronger blood horror. That's awesome.
Well, if you're going to do it right, or you do it right, right? It's not right if it's not the most powerful.
There you go. Horror factor of 13, but 15 to the wizard who did it to him. The wizard recognizes this blood monster and understands, oh, that's on me, and then gets much more easily scared. 3 attacks per melee, +4 in initiative, +5 against the wizard, +3 to strike, +4 against the wizard, +1 to parry. Automatic dodge +4, but +5 against the wizard.
The wizard.
Yeah. You see it now. Yeah. It if you are the one who actually did the cutting, it's going to be a lot harder to fight.
You've just got a red dot on you.
Yes, exactly right. And just like the rag horror, all of these soul fragments have a supernatural sense to the direction on where their prey is. And it's absolute. It is absolute. Always right. If you're on the same plane of existence, it will find you. And it will not stop.
Let me guess. But wait, there's more.
There is more. Steel Death.
Oh.
The Steel Death.
Are we playing Splicers?
Hang on. Wait for it. It's the most common occurring manifestation of a soul fragment. The Steel Death manifestation occurs when an individual is slain by ordinary weapons, often as a result of torture or prolonged combat. Death comes not from a clean fight, but one in which the killers had inflicted numerous painful wounds, deliberately designed not to kill, but to make the inevitable slow death a painful one. Oh, wow. This is if you were tortured. This is the torture one. You were tortured for a very long time for the sole purpose to feel pain before you die. Then you can come up and be a Steel Death. What is a Steel Death? The fragment, upon formation, will search for the closest weapon. It'll either enter any weapon held by the killers, if still present, or any weapon found in the area, if necessary, waiting for someone who is armed to approach the site of his death. It will enter the weapon and animate it with the ability to fly or levitate through the air. If the Steel Death is in the company of the killers, it will immediately begin attacking them. If the assailants are no longer in the area, the animated weapon will fly from the death site in search of its killers.
Hey, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. Back. Yeah. If the weapon the Steel Death has entered is on a belt, it will endeavor to free itself from bindings, then fly away. If the owner of the weapon tries to restrain it, most don't, because that's shocking, it will attack in an effort to get free, but not kill. It will fly, searching the area for those targeted for revenge. Like all the others, it has low animal intelligence, can magically sense the location of its quarry, and is bent on murderous revenge. Once it has accomplished its goal, the soul fragment
really hyper-focused.
Yes, they are very hyper-focused. Soul fragment cannot enter any weapon heavier than 8 pounds or longer than 8 feet. Missile weapons are not suitable. Only handheld melee weapons are doable. Sword, axe, knife, hammer, whatever. Normal weapons have no save. Magical weapons can save. Rune weapons and, by extension, legendary weapons are impervious.
Well, it's because they already have souls in them.
Exactly. Yeah. Palladium, the way you make rune weapons and holy weapons and stuff like that is by putting souls in there already. So, it's full. But what does it have that the others don't? Let's find out. Still 1d4 low animal intelligence, but we're getting stronger now. 2d6 plus 14 supernatural strength. Natural armor.
What is supernatural strength like that, dude? If that thing's flying and it's got supernatural strength and it just, flies towards my gut.
Yes.
What does that do? It's not mega damage, but
strength damage.
Okay.
Damage. The usual damage caused by the weapon plus the damage from supernatural strength, which could be up to 26, which is a lot.
Ow.
Yeah. 3d4 times 10 hit points. Add 5d6 if a magic practitioner or greater than 8th level. SDC 66 plus 6. What does it have? +3 initiative, +5 to strike, +3 to parry, +2 to dodge, +2 to save versus magic and psionics. Impervious to horror factor. It's already damn scary.
Wait. Why doesn't it say to the wizard or to the murderer? Like the last was all about +5 to the wizard, +5 to the wizard. This one should say +5 to the murderer. That's not fair.
I understand, but because the wizard was a magic ritual and the wizard was in his face the entire time, it's a It's a lot more toward the wizard. They're also immune to all types of control, sleep, illusion magic, and many types of psionics, as well as heat, cold, disease, poisons, because they are an inanimate object. You can't poison a sword. Psionics. They have psionics. You can see invisible, present sense magic, and object read.
Oh, you're not getting away. You can't see me with the sword.
Yeah, you're getting stabbed to death with an invisible sword. Awesome. It relies on brute force. No kidding. But this is even more directed than the rag horror, because it specifically says it will not try to kill anyone who's not on its list. It will fight just long enough to get away.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you attack it, if you're not on the list, if it can get away, it'll get away.
Just let it go, man. Just let it go.
Just step out of the way, man. Step out of the way. Whatever this sword or axe or truncheon or whip or whatever is after, whoever he's after, got it coming. Step out of the way. Then we have the fire haunt. Soul fragment born from a deliberate death by fire, such as being tortured by hot pokers or burning coals, burned at the stake, thrown into a set on fire, torched by magic, scalded, or burned by acid, and similar painful burning torment. Now, torched by magic, it depends. How long did it take him to die? Burned at the stake? That's messed up.
I would add one more to that list. And I base this on the fact that I put acid there. Yep. Frostbite. Have you felt the pain of frostbite?
I understand. I understand what you're saying, but I also understand why they didn't do it. After the death of the individual, it will take 1d4 hours for the fire haunt to form. It coalesces out of the charred bone and or embers, ash, and cinders of the fire in the form of a monstrous 2 to 3 foot long black centipede-like insect. A protective hard shell down its back goes the length of the entire body. It is a pair of large mandibles set into a triangular shaped head with sunken eye sockets. 16 okay, it's a nightmare fuel. Okay, it is the worst insect you could possibly imagine, and it's 3 feet long. Let's go with that. Like all soul fragments, is not very intelligent, but it is instinctual hunter and will not fight to the death. If overpowered, it will flee and come back later. It regenerates 1d4 times 10 points per hour by resting in a place where fire is usually kept. So, a fireplace, a fire pit, wherever.
Daddy, why is the log moving?
Just don't touch it. It's fine. As usual, the motive for the fire haunt is, guess what? Revenge. It can magically sense the exact location of its prey whenever the person or persons responsible for the murder of its former humanoid life stand before a burning fire. That's a caveat. They have to be in front of a fire to be on this thing's radar. So,
and what's every adventure?
Yeah, every night you're at a fireplace, right? I mean, and if you're an evil wizard who killed him and you're at an inn, you're in front of the fire, drinking brandy or whatever the equivalent is, and telling people how this poor little idiot Timmy died horribly last night. The fire can be a lit candle, torch, or fireplace. Lit candle. A torch, which also means a lantern.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're all about that lifestyle. Yeah. The monster uses surprise and speed in its attacks and often strikes to cripple or knock its foe to the ground, then setting them or their surroundings on fire and watching them burn to death.
Nice guy.
Unfortunately, the hate-filled thing has no regard for others and may set a house or even an entire town ablaze to get its quarry. Okay, this is the worst of them so far. No compunction about killing everyone around their target. As long as the target's dead, everything else is just, hey, I broke a few eggs. So this one you have beef with. This one, you see a fire haunt running around. If he's going to your town,
crawling around,
you might want to try and kill it just to save your mom, because if your mom lives there, she might be dead. So what can it do? Natural abilities: climb like an insect, prowl 80%, climb 95, swim, track humanoids, Oh, it can track regular. It doesn't have to use the fire all the time. It can regularly track humanoids. That's great. Normal day
But it has
vision.
to roll.
Yeah, night vision, regeneration inside hearths and homes. If picked up, grabbed, or caught in a net or tangled in a rope, the fire hunt can heat flash, inflicting 46 points of damage to anything touching it, plus a 60% chance of setting combustibles on fire. Counts as one attack, but can only be performed once per round. Also see magic abilities. 3 physical attacks or 2 by magic. What's the magical abilities? Vulnerability to cold and water-based magic. Magic, ignite fire, fuel flame, fire bolt, cloud of smoke, all equal to 3rd level spell. And it has 3d4 times 10 plus 6 PPE. Plenty of PPE to fire a whole bunch of fire magic attacks. Whole bunch. And it can see invisible and sense magic.
Of course.
Of course. So yeah.
But wait.
There's more. The Scarlet Roper. Don't look into that. There's a porn reference to that. We're not doing that. This is one of the most gruesome of the soul fragment creatures. It is formed by the horrific death of a living humanoid through torture or human sacrifice, usually in a brutal, painful way. Drawn and quartered, dismembered, flayed, eaten alive, etc. The vengeful creature appears within the hour, 1d6 times 10 minutes, and appears as a grotesque skeletal dwarf-sized body with only parts of the body covered in skinless muscle and gore. The skeletal body and what muscles and flesh that hangs from them are covered in a sheet of blood, the tissue various shades of red. The eyes are the original victim's eyes regenerated after death. As it moves, it leaves a continuous light trail of blood and goo.
It's like a slug.
Yeah, only much more horrible. A small fanged mouth is located in the chest of this creature. And 1d4 plus 1 sinuous tentacles made of muscle, dead tissue, and arteries squirm and flail around it. The tentacles are strong and fast, lashing out at its enemies, first battering them, then entangling them and pulling them toward the jaws on its chest mouth. Its chest mouth. That's something I never thought I'd say out loud. No, not his mouth, his chest mouth. Okay, moving on. Such victims are themselves eaten alive until the mouth chews through their chest and devours their heart, or tears out the throat and severs the spine, decapitating the head. Awesome.
Please tell me it's focused.
What's that?
Please tell me it's focused.
We'll find out. The Scarlet Roper has the disgusting ability to regenerate all lost SDC hit points by feeding on the remains and blood of its victims. Yeah. A wicked and ruthless creature of revenge, it will prey upon innocent victims to restore itself in order to continue its quest for revenge. It will kill innocents to make sure it gets to the target it's looking for. To regenerate itself, it will kill you and your little daughter.
So it's focused, but it's just not going to detour.
No. It'll go through anyone else. Yeah, it'll go through you to get to what it wants. So what can it do? This one's smarter. 1d4 plus 2 instead of 1d4. And it's much stronger. 2d6 plus 20 supernatural strengths for the arm and the tentacles. If you get caught up in these tentacles, you're probably not getting out.
One more time. I'm going to remind folks, in case somebody fast forwarded through this, we're not talking riffs.
No.
We're talking Palladium Fantasy. Supernatural strength isn't a dime a dozen. It isn't everybody's got it. You don't have your Borgs, your Juicers, and your crazies to defend against this. This is just your longbowman.
Yeah.
Good luck.
He's going to die horribly. Hit points 66 plus 50. Plus 50. Armor rating at 12. SDC 6d6 plus each tentacle has 1d6 plus 14. Has a bunch of natural abilities for tracking blood by scent, concealment, night vision. It regenerates 1d6 points of damage per minute and can regenerate a severed limb in 48 hours when without a source of blood, or 46 hit points or SDC per minute and regenerate severed limbs within 2d4 hours if there is a source of blood and flesh. It has a blood stench.
Oh, that's gross.
Save versus 15 or be overcome with nausea and vomiting. Anyone overcome is -3 initiative, strike, parry, and dodge, and -25% to perform all skills. Casting or using psionics are impossible until leaving the vicinity of the creature.
Impossible.
Impossible. You cannot cast on it if you fail your save. If you're a wizard and it's after you, well, you're going to die. Sorry, you're just going to die. It's going to suck and it's going to be bad. But yeah, that is it. Yeah, those are all of the soul fragments, and they go from, almost indiscriminate murder machines to almost, helpful, benevolent creatures that kill killers only. Most of them are on that side of the spectrum.
I forgot, what was the way that this one had to die? In order, because the other ones were like had to die by hot pokers.
This one had to die by being drawn and quartered, eaten alive, tortured by being flayed.
Okay. Oh god. Okay.
Dismembered. Yeah. So it's a huge physical murder, like really not just like whipped to death or anything. I mean, it's like have your arms and legs cut off, eyes gouged out, ears cut off. It's the whole Princess Bride Wesley's to the pain thing. That's what this is.
These are things that I love to have in a game as rumors.
Yeah.
And never come to fruition until the characters don't think about it, or they're just so used to saying it. It's like saying Beetlejuice instead of 3 times 400 times, right? Whatever. Beetlejuice isn't going to come. Who cares? Say it all the time. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they're level 9. You've been playing the campaign for 3 years or whatever. And wait, what? Maybe level 9 is a little high for these things, but you get the idea.
Anything above level 8, you get extra SDC.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But I just like the idea of having this be more rumor than fact until it becomes fact, if that makes sense.
Until it happens to you. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, what do we have for?
I starred 3 of them. So, Games Brown Game says blood magic is so cool.
Yeah, it's cool, right up until one of these things happen. Then it's not cool anymore. It's not cool, man.
Hey, if you think blood magic is cool, I got a game for you.
Yeah.
Earth on blood magic.
Shadowrun too.
I didn't know about blood magic in Shadowrun.
Yep.
I don't remember it anyway.
Yep.
Love these things. Use them a lot. What?
What is
wrong with you?
I never heard of them before, but if you use them a lot, that means you have a very deadly and awful world.
Yeah, especially since you have the word "a lot" in there.
Yeah, use a lot, which means people get tortured and murdered slowly a lot. That's not great. All right, what else we got?
So, if a Scarlet Roper eats you alive, does it make another Scarlet Roper?
No, because there's no valid target. Once the Scarlet Roper eats you alive, severs your head or eats your heart, it dissipates and leaves the universe. You, as the new victim, have no target. So you can't form into a soul fragment.
Okay. Well, there's
no Uno reverse card on vengeance. I'm sorry.
No reverse card. All right, well, that was horribly creepy. Very interesting, though. I mean, the thought process that goes into some of these and what people how they come up with this stuff, whether it's based on real myth or they just pull this crap out of their mind, is...
I don't want to be in a dark room with the guy who made up this stuff.
Right? But at the same time, man, it's so... I can find so many fun uses for stuff like that in the game.
Like... the flying weapon one, where the victim is trying to convince you to help him defend himself against this thing. And if you don't know what a soul fragment is, you may think he's the victim. You may think he's a potential victim when he's not. He's got it coming. So yeah.
So what are you talking about next?
Next, we're going to talk about Archie versus the World. Archie 3 versus the World. We're going to Riffs, baby. It's our next video.